crime. From cold cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off in the fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? Can everybody hear me okay? Mic check 1, mic check 2. What's up, y'all? All right. A lot of things happening all at once, all the time. What's up, Holly J? M? Always love you. Love talking to you every day, almost every day. We're not too tired. Queen B. What's up, Italian girl? Stephanie? Sweetie Brookahire. Loud and clear, says Gothic Breek. Guam, Jax, JJJ, love ya. Nala, hi crime crew. L Price, Stonefly Blue. Millie. Man, so much going on today. So I just talked to Strategic on the phone. Well, we texted right before. And I wish I had a call-in number right now. Strategic, if you get on here in a little bit, if anyone sees Strategic on, we'll ask him. Now, if I had a call-in number, he's on a staycation. So Strategic is we'll just say he's a New York police officer, okay? And the number one, hey, Strategic is here. Maybe you could type in the chat. Number one question of the day, and I'm going to put down here in my banner, hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. Hey, Mr. Strategic, as a police officer, with the information that we know about Jenn Soto, and I'm going to get into it more today. Jenn Soto lying to the police, obstructing justice, hindering the case of finding Maddie, and repeating STEPHAN STERNS, the person accused of capital murder and 60 counts of SAing, as well as not only lying, but child neglect and handing her daughter for 5 years. Lots of SAing going on. Is it a possibility? And I love you, Strategic. I can't wait to collaborate with you. Here's my question to you, Strategic. As a New York police officer, it's only been 6 months. Is it a possibility they're still going to lock her up? I want to hear your answer, and I'm going to talk while I'm waiting. And Strategic says endangering the welfare of a child, and I agree with that. All I can say is Wendy Adelson, Charlie Adelson, Donna Adelson, the Adelsons, folks. It took the Adelsons years to get to where they've gone to, and Wendy is not locked up. However, it's been over 7 years, and they're still using her as a witness with immunity to an extent. Thank you, Strategic. You're amazing. Accessory after the fact. So I got accessory after the fact and endangering the welfare of a child. This man is named Strategic, the Strategic Eyes Show. If somebody could drop a link, he has 53,000 subscribers, and he is a New York police officer. He knows what he's talking about, folks. I will collab with him when he gets back from his staycation. Hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. Hashtag never normalize handing your daughters over to any man. Now, before I get into the show, I want you to know, do not normalize. I don't care if it's Jesus himself. It's not about trusting somebody. It's about taking care of your children and not neglecting them, and knowing that the world is full of demons, devils, and people that will do things even if they're not known to do it or they've never done it before. It will happen. Do not get a divorce from your husband just because you don't want to let him sleep with your daughter, or you're going on a girls trip and you decide to send. We just hit 222, folks. So 222 people. That's an angel number. Prayers for you, Maddie. Don't get a divorce because your husband, you don't want to leave your husband with your daughter when you go on a girls' vacation. Instead, you want to send your daughter to Auntie's house to stay the night. And I'm going to show you Auntie here in a minute, because Tyler Wallace's sister Madeline's auntie has come out of the woodworks and is speaking. We now have Tyler Wallace speaking, Tatiana Wallace speaking, and now Tatiana Wallace's sister, who was Maddie's auntie, had no idea. Send your daughter to an auntie. Send somewhere. What's up, a key? I'm going to give a key a big shout out. Collabs mod/sister. I can't wait. My dream collab. It's Strategics mod/sister, and I can't wait to collab with Mr. Strategic. Police officer, we'll just say police force in New York, knows what he's talking about. Hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. Never normalize handing your daughter over to Jesus himself. Not a dad, not an uncle, not a brother, not a cousin, not nobody, not even an aunt, not even another female. Do not put your children in bed with anybody else except for themselves. Especially when those people wake up with woods in the morning, folks. Never normalize that. Yes, shout out Strategic Eyes, and I'm sure they put yes, there is your link. Everybody go when we're done here and follow him. We are going to collab together. This man, I love his opinions. I love his boldness, and I love that he knows the law. All right. So when you know the law, you know, if you know the Adelsons, you know that the Adelsons, Wendy Adelson, Charlie Adelson, Donna Adelson, and the husband, I don't know if he has anything to do with it. 7 years. Okay, folks, it takes a while to get a case together. And you heard Strategic NYPD. You've heard Duty Ron, former NYPD. I didn't mean to say NYPD, just New York police officer Strategic, arrest Jenn Soto, aka lock her up, aka never normalize leaving your children. That's all I have to say. I've been needing to get that out, folks, and I am much better. I needed to get that out because it is not okay. And do not get a divorce. If you don't trust your husband or boyfriend or whatever, stepdad, if you don't trust them to leave your daughters with them, then you shouldn't be married to a bullshit. It's not about you trusting them or them earning your trust. Just don't do it. Doesn't mean get a divorce. What kind of dumb shit is that? Arrest Jenn Soto now. All right, I'm going to start off with the clip. I do have a document dump. I don't know how many documents we're going to get through. I'll go through as many as I can. We know the family is watching now. We know the Wallaces have been watching, and I know that hurts them to no end because we saw Tyler, and we saw how much he was hurting. Let him be. Subscribe, Sophie, 100%. I don't want that out there to normalize letting your children be with boyfriends, ex-boyfriends. And then this paperwork thing is bullshit. It's bullshit because when I read it, it says Jenn Soto had let the stepfather sleep with Maddie. Strategic Eyes says, yes, never normalize leaving your kids with strange men. Yeah, we're not going to normalize it, okay? And we're not going to exploit you if you come on here to tell me a personal story and ask you, how does it feel? How did it feel? What do you feel like? How do you feel at the time? No, I don't want to know. I want to know that you're better now, you healed. And if you want to talk behind the scenes, let's talk. And maybe I can get you hooked up with a therapist. Jesus Christ, we want to protect our kids, and we just want justice for Maddie, preventative care. These days, you just don't know. There's devils, demons all over the world. Never leave your children and never put them in bed with the devil. And so don't lie to cops either, because that's a crime to lie to cops and to neglect your children, all right? Damn, it just makes me so angry. This is all the things from last night. Okay, this is not what I wanted to play. So let me pull this down. I mean, my YouTube is being a little wonky. So give me a second while I go on, get it all out. Don't normalize that and just keep your children safe. Yes, Jennifer Soto can absolutely still be arrested. It's very soon in the investigation. The police want to make sure that they're doing the right things and charge as they can. And I do want to say that just because they haven't arrested her yet, it doesn't mean they're not putting a solid case together. So you've heard Duty Ron say it. I just talked to Strategic. He just messaged. New York police officer. You've seen many cases after many cases after many cases. It's not over yet, folks. And the reason Jenn Soto even told the police officers, yeah, I sent them to bed. I send Maddie to bed with her stepfather, was because she was trying to cover her ass in case they did find the pictures. It wasn't her fault. She always sent them to bed with a stepfather, not a stepfather, an ex-boyfriend that hadn't been at the house since December of 2023, folks. Yeah, absolutely. Just horrible. I'm sorry, folks. That's not the VIP treatment you get here. So let's go with this and I'll put it full screen. Okay, now Madeline Soto's aunt. This is
Tina,
Taylor
thank you
and
for being with
Tatiana.
us. I really
There's probably a bigger clip, but I'm going to play this for now because I only have the 5-minute one. This is Tatiana's sister speaking about Madeline Soto and Jenn letting her sleep with the devil.
appreciate it. You know, in the last days, I've been reading all the new headlines, and we went further and there's a 900-page document that I have been, wading through. And I've got to tell you, it just made my heart stop. And I understand that you and Maddie's bio dad are reeling at the new information. Which aspect of
Remember, this is Tyler Wallace's side. Everyone has been talking about the bio dad because they haven't obviously consumed all the information yet. Tyler Wallace is a military man. Him and his wife Tatiana, they live in Texas. Maddie lived in Florida, and we're going to call it parental alienation. When something's going on with your child and you don't want the other parent to know, you're probably going to want to keep them away from them. So we don't know for a fact. This is my opinion, entertainment purposes only. But I'm telling you what I know. This is the sister of Tatiana, which loved Maddie. They could have sent her over to her. She'd have watched her and not slept in bed with her naked or whatever sick things they were doing. Well, we know STEPHAN was.
the new information just released is the most concerning to you?
Today, this came out today.
I think the biggest aspect has been the timelines that, you're ready to hear, but you're never ready to hear. And so seeing those kind of layout and essentially a lot of my family and we haven't read through the documents, but I have seen quite a bit from social media, and it's just devastating. And the description of how she was found and just things of that nature, you're never ready to hear something like that, especially when it's somebody that you've watched grow up. And
now remember, this just came out today, folks, and I bet you didn't know that because it came out while I was driving home. Somebody from that side of the family called me and told me. That's why you probably haven't seen it yet. I do get inside information from that camp. Let's just say from this whole case, I know a lot of things because people tell me from this side, that side, all sides. Okay. I know the Sotos are probably watching this. I know they do watch this. They have people in their camp that watch it. That's how I knew about the roommate. That's how we knew about the bedroom layout. We knew about the bedroom layout before the police released it. And I want you to know the reason there's a bedroom number 4 is because those condos, they label it like that because many of them are rented out and they live near like Disneyland or Disney World. And so a lot of people, it's expensive, they rent them out. So that was bedroom number 4 that she would get sent up to. Now there was a makeshift bedroom as well, but that's how I know these things. That's probably why you haven't seen this. It just came out while I was driving home. I threw it into my episode.
it's truly devastating.
And love.
All of it.
Yeah, hit that like button.
Teresina, everyone joining us is a special guest, Maddie's aunt, Teresina Niles. I don't think that you should be hard on yourself at all. Do you know, to this day, today, I have never gone to the scene where my fiance was murdered. Why? Because it would just put me back at square one. I'd start all over again. I mean, sometimes it's just too much to take in. I've just been thinking so much about what I'm hearing. It's especially the allegation that Maddie was being molested by this guy as young.
I didn't want that word to come out, so I'll blah, blah, blah it out. Nikita, I wanted to stop and say that too. Do not label Jen as stupid or ignorant. That she was not. I agree. She was 100% complicit. She may not have been complicit in the actual taking of Maddie's life, but she sure was complicit in covering it up and telling the story and then going about her routine that day so that she could just go about her routine and look like she was doing as she was doing. Her doctor's appointment was abnormally quick. When you're looking for your daughter in an urgency, I'll tell you right now, you don't email a teacher at the end of the day. So many things that she did, unbelievable that anyone would even say. And Philly girl, I know what channel you're coming from. Tyler said Seven not give him the ick. You're right. He didn't give him the ick because he wasn't around him quite enough. So everybody, I welcome into the chat and I welcome your opinion. But what I am saying is my opinion, and you're going to hear the opinion of my channel is hashtag arrest Jenn Soto for the things that she did tell us that she did. And we did see her repeating the story after her little girl was unalived. She repeated Stephan's story. That's a crime. Neglect is a crime. It's all a crime.
Young as age 8. And I bet anything she never said a word to her dad about it.
No, we wouldn't be like, none of this would have happened if we even had an inkling.
All right, folks, if you came in here late, Nancy Grace is interviewing Madeline Soto's aunt. This is from Tyler Wallace's side. There's Tyler and Tatiana Wallace. Tyler Wallace is the biological dad that nobody else ever seems to hear of. He loved her. He went to the memorial. He went to the vigil. He got her ashes. He saw her in October of that year. He lived in Texas. This is Tatiana's sister or Maddie's aunt. Okay. They'll say her name at the end. It's a Hispanic name, so I'm not so good with those. I'll let them say it. I just got this on the way home. It just came out, so I didn't get to write down and hashtag all the stuff.
So it's I think that was another thing from the documents. Once we saw how many other of her friends and people didn't know either, and we're just, it doesn't take the pain away or the guilt that's there, but it does show that like nobody knew that closest to her, and it really is devastating other than the people that did know, I guess.
Miss Niles, did you guys have any idea that the mother was just basically sending Maddie off to sleep with the boyfriend at night?
Yes, ex-boyfriend, by the way.
Not at all.
I just,
so all of
I
this
couldn't
is
take that
news.
in. How is Maddie's dad reacting to all this? He must be devastated.
It's been difficult to just see my brother-in-law Tyler and my sister Tatiana just go through.
There they are, folks. There's a lot of people that got blurred out. I believe that's Grandpa that used to live there, Grandpa Juan, and then they blurred out the face of Yolanda Zambrano. You can see Maddie wasn't a little girl, folks. All those little pictures that they show, and how Jen says she had a friend, but she couldn't find her way to a friend, and she wasn't that smart the way she made her seem. She was actually a really getting to be a big young lady, probably with a strong personality, taller and thinner and prettier than Jen. And they did have some issues between the two. And yeah, they had a man called, or a demon called Stephan STERNS that was giving this one a lot more attention than this one. So hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. And Strategic Eyes shows that she told the story and misled the police. That's an accessory after the fact. She basically lied to the police. She's said she saw her daughter that morning and corrected him on the clothing. And we're going to get to that for the 17th time. Mr. Strategic Eyes is from New York and from the police force. He knows the law. So if y'all are questioning what that is or who he is, I'm going to bring him on here at some point very soon. Right now, he's on a vacation, so I don't want to bother him. But thank you for being on here and at least validating what I'm saying from the standpoint of a police officer in New York. We don't need to know Florida law to know what we know is illegal, folks. Arrest Jenn Soto, arrest Jenn Soto, arrest Jenn Soto. Oh, they look so happy in that picture. Yeah, they do. It looks so deceiving, and that's why the aunt didn't know. And by the way, when we get into the paperwork and we see that it's the stepfather, she keeps saying it's the stepfather. It's an ex-boyfriend that hadn't been there for over a month. Latino culture does not accept girls sleeping with any male family member, let alone an ex-boyfriend. You said a boyfriend, it was an ex, and he hadn't been there since December of 2023. And remember, he didn't come back until February 26th, which was not on Maddie's birthday.
Through any of this just because they loved her so deeply. And it's incomprehensible. I truly can't even find the words to convey the devastation that I'm witnessing and seeing and reading. It just makes everyone really sick, really, really, really sick.
Of course it does.
I pray to God, Miss Niles, I pray to God that one mother out there and one father, especially dads who were not in the home.
That's an awful picture. This goes to show you how little she was when this monster started coming around to Jenn Soto. You tell me that many years. I know she looks like Oblivious Benson likes to call her, like a potato, and she looks dumb. But the roommate, CM, says she absolutely was not dumb. No low IQ, no kind of mental disability. Nothing was wrong with her. As a matter of fact, she kind of looks like Maddie here. They've got like the same kind of nose and face. Beautiful Maddie was being already either groomed or something happening to her in this terrible picture. And guess what? Tyler Wallace, when we saw his interview, didn't know about the fact that Jenn was letting this monster sleep with his daughter.
Like when the parents are divorced or separated, hear this and understand what's happening in so many homes across our country. Guys, I want you to take a listen to more of what the mom says.
What was she last seen wearing?
Green hoodie.
Green hoodie.
White Crocs.
White Crocs.
Either blue or black pants.
I think black shorts.
Black shorts?
Yeah.
Black shorts? Okay.
Black yeah.
Shorts.
Yep.
All right.
Done.
Do you know if she has like friends in the area?
She does, but she doesn't know where they live.
She doesn't know where they live. Okay.
She doesn't know where they live.
I asked.
End of story. Done. She doesn't know. We're done. Sorry. Sorry about your luck. Sorry about all our luck. We don't know. All right. So we're going to stop that. And I'm going to play another video before I start getting into the dumps, because there's so many people that are on the side of the law, that know the law, that understand the way the law works, and understand that police take time to put an investigation together, folks. And no, she's not acting dumb. She was the one telling the story and following it along the whole time. Just because she looks dumb, it doesn't mean she is dumb. And I wouldn't even say that if I didn't know the roommate that lived with her, that said nothing was wrong with her other than panic attacks, which she was probably having anxiety and taking all those pills because she knew what she was letting go on. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh man, you need all sides of the story before you start telling a story that you don't know. My dog's barking at me. All right, yeah. And not even that. They should arrest her for her own, so she doesn't get in trouble. The little is barking at me, and then I try to get the little and she runs. That made light. Okay, I'm going to play a clip here from Grizzly real quick because I want you to see. It's about 10 minutes long. If you haven't seen it, it came out today. I want you to hear what she has to say. And I love that she normally doesn't take sides or anything, sides, so to speak. But here she's going to listen to what she says about this paperwork. Now, she went through about 8 hours of document where she filmed it. Okay. So she went through, yeah, the little, I wish I could grab her, but she keeps running from me. Failure, Russian Soto, and I love you all too. Sabrina Lennox, you're not a crime crew member yet, and I hope you do soon. This is reason I stay single. Hell, putting my baby through something like that. Exactly. If I can grab the little. Come on. I want to see you. All right, folks. I know you want to see the baby. So there she is. I'll put a smile on your face before we start getting into everything else. She looks like a ragamuffin right now, but guess what? Melanie's right. Obstruction and child endangerment, folks. I'm not just making this stuff up. And when someone says Jenn Soto didn't do anything, they haven't found anything out. She's the one that told them what she's been doing. Yeah, if this doesn't make you smile, I don't know what will. This little ragamuffin's tiny. Look at this. The little tiny baby one. It's a baby Yorkie. All right, baby Yorkie. We have to get to work, okay? I can hold you for a bit, but we gotta work. All right. There's 823 people on here, and if we don't get to work, they're gonna get mad. All right. Yeah, I did. I caught her. Let's go. Let's listen to Gisela for a minute because I normally don't hear her talk like this, so it's very interesting.
Welcome back to another episode of Grizzly True Crime. My name is Gisela K, and in today's video, I'm going to do my very best to bring you only the bullet points from everything we learned in 6 hours worth of live streams. We're divided into 3 parts, so if you haven't seen part 1, 2, or 3.
All right, she talks really fast. I'm not going to play. I'm only going to play about 10 minutes of her video. You guys can go watch the rest. She did a phenomenal job of part 1, 2, and 3. And it is about 8 hours worth of documents. But listen to what she has to say. We've got Duty Ron saying it. We got the Strategic Eyes show saying it. I've been telling you since before the documents came out what was going on behind the scenes. Listen to this if you haven't heard it, folks. And then I'll get into the documents and we'll talk about it some more.
You might want to go check those out because it's definitely a deeper dive than what I'm doing here
Thank you,
today.
guys.
But that was based on an 896-page document that came from the district attorney's office in Madeline Soto's case. So if you see the picture top right-hand corner, that's Madeline Soto. She just turned 13 on February 22nd of 2024. And by February 26th, she was gone. She was murdered by her mother's ex-boyfriend, who in some documents they refer to him as.
Yes, this lady is the queen of true crime. Gisela, I hope you see this because I bow down to you. I literally look up to you and you're amazing. You are why I started my channel. All right. So she's amazing at map times. She does map time in all of her 8 hours. And she's also the queen of that because she used to fly airplanes and she knows how to do maps and even flight simulation. So if you're looking for a new place to look for map time, Grizzly True Crime does maps in 3-dimensional. And she flies planes, so she'll show you in flight simulation. Queen of true crime, folks. If you're looking for a new channel that's sympathetic and that does great map time, there you have it. All right.
Stepfather, I would not give him that title. Predator in the house. So far, he's the only one that's been arrested. He's been charged with over 60 counts of CSAM-related charges. He had allegedly been abusing Madeline since she was 8 years old, just based on evidence that they found on his phone, which is very scary. And they did detail a little bit more in those documents. And then he was also charged with her murder. So we've seen media interviews that Jenn Soto, her mother, and this ex-boyfriend STEPHAN STERNS did. We've heard police interviews, the audio interviews. We've done deep dives, presentations, map time, everything so far. But this video is specifically for those of you who just don't have the time.
And we're going to do about 8 more minutes of this, and you're going to hear right off the bat, #arrest Jenn Soto. All right? And she's going to tell you herself, Gisela's going to tell you she doesn't normally pick sides, but you can't not see big red flags in this paperwork.
Or maybe the patients, and I understand, don't worry, I also like videos that are a little bit shorter, even though I mostly do live streams, and sometimes they are over an hour long, or in this case, each one was 2 hours long, so 6 hours of live streams.
Thank you.
Me personally, if I looked at that, I'd be like, damn, only at 1.5 speed, okay? Which you can do, and only if it's time-stamped, which it is. So just know I'm always thinking of you, even if you're like, oh man, I'm so pressed for time, and I want to watch all of this. You can watch it at 1.5 speed, and I've chaptered it all out for you. So still, after this video, if you haven't seen those, you might want to just listen to it in the background while you're cleaning or driving or doing something, kind of like a podcast or whatever, because I also there summarized as best I could the 896-page document. I highlighted things, I explained things.
And you did a fantastic job. Now, Auntie isn't the Soto family, Alara. I thought that too. It's from Tyler Wallace's family. That is Madeline's bio dad. If you guys don't know about Tyler Wallace, you got to go back and look at my videos. I've done lots of videos on why the bio dad was silent, and then why he came. Then when he came out, his name's Tyler Wallace, and that's her aunt, not the Soto family. I've heard nothing from the Soto family except a note that was left at the memorial, and I can't even say her name.
So hopefully you'll check that out. But if not, don't worry.
Yes.
We're going to go over all the things that we learned since that document came out, because there was definitely a few more details in there that we didn't know before. Okay, I've also made a little calendar for you so that we can do, a visual presentation of what the hell went on in this case so that we can understand just a little bit more. So firstly, this case happened in Florida, right?
Please note that this content is for adults only.
All right, I didn't want to just get past her. I want you to know who the queen of true crime is.
No, a lot of people are looking at her with a side eye, like that's sus. And I must say, I have done my very best to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm still doing my best to, but with that document, it's become even more difficult. Even if you think of Jenn Soto and STEPHAN STERNS had broken up in December of 2023, and he'd moved out and moved back in with his mom. He literally was the most useless 37-year-old predator, groomer, abuser ever, just leeching off his mom or Jenn Soto. Even Madeline Soto said that he made her really uncomfortable. He was weak.
And we know from the roommate that he was a dirty, nasty devil. And Jenn Soto had to go to his house and clean it. And Grizzly True Crime calls out the interview. She watched our interview about the roommate so she could incorporate all of this. So he was good for nothing. And thank you, Justice for All, for the $2 Justice for Maddie, our angel. We have 901 people in chat, folks. Just hit that like button and we're going to get better information, better interviews, lots of things to come. I can't wait for Strategic to come on here and tag team.
Weird. He just hung around and ate all their food and made her uncomfortable. And it makes sense because he was trying to just the whole time connect with Madeline, with like little toys that he was building and all the childlike things he was doing, but really to get to Madeline because he's.
And the reason I'm playing this is because in a couple of minutes, she's just going to blast Jenn Soto with the document paperwork that she went through. She went through it with a fine-tooth comb. So she really is.
The reason they gave him the document is because his dad offered him a job, but then the job fell through. So he wanted to move back.
Okay, folks, a lot of people were asking why STEPHAN STERNS moved out and why they broke up. So that's addressing the breakup, folks. She just told you they just made up a story about STEPHAN STERNS getting a job with his dad. She's laughing about it. So we got about 5 more minutes and then we'll start going through the documents. Trigger warning, there's a lot of bad things in there. I have a lot of redacted information in it. Thank you to Bree, our moderator. Craziness.
That's just weird. It's not because he cheated, because that also, I don't know if she only just recently found out about it.
Oh, I was wondering what happened, folks. You guys are breaking the internet. There's 936 people on here. That's why it went from 850 to 936. It just froze. Strategic Eyes. I don't know if I'm worthy to come on your show. You're so good. You're doing God's work. Hashtag lock up Jenn Soto. Aw, you're very sweet, Strategic. And I don't know if I'm worthy of having you on my show. I don't know anything. I'm just a true crime person that's been studying it for a long time. I don't have a degree in any police work or detective, so I can't wait for you to come on. And thank you for the super chat. I'm glad you're here. And Aki, you guys are my new friends.
About that or what, but in the document, cheating is detailed as well. So he was dating Jenn Soto. He was abusing her daughter, allegedly based on evidence found on his phone, though. And he was also dating another lady who he bragged to about, yeah, I'm separated from my girlfriend, but I still sleep over sometimes. And he told that ex-girlfriend he sleeps in his ex-girlfriend's daughter's bed and sometimes gets a
Okay, trigger warning. Sometimes he gets a woody. Okay, I know you've heard this story already. So he wakes up and he gets a woody. I didn't really like the language particularly, but Jenn knows all this. She knows he's out sleeping with other women. She knows he's into kinky stuff. And yet she still, after not seeing him for over a month, sends her daughter to bed. That's child neglect. And then she says the same story. That is absolute obstruction of justice, or whatever strategic said. He knows the laws. He's a police officer in New York. All right, folks. And he is coming on very soon, Jojo.
hard on and then needs to turn around in the bed, like, and giggling about it. And she was like, what the hell? So she broke up with him.
Good
anyway,
job.
They broke up, Jenn Soto and STEPHAN STERNS. This is now Jenn's house, right? At these Venetian Bay Villages Condominiums Association. This little area, it looks like a very beautiful area. There's, there's all these tennis courts, basketball courts. There's a swimming pool here. I mean, it's Florida. It's beautiful. And Madeline was only 13 years old. She just turned 13. Point is, Mom, STEPHAN STERNS broke up. Now, why, if they broke up, was Jenn so comfortable just letting STEPHAN STERNS back in the home and then sending them both upstairs? That's literally what the document said. Jenn Soto, Madeline's mother, sent them both upstairs saying her job changed. She's tired. She's got anxiety. She needs a good night's rest. So she sent STEPHAN STERNS, her ex-boyfriend, and her 13-year-old daughter upstairs to sleep in the guest room, which was room 9.
All right, we got about another three and a half minutes, and listen to what she's saying. We already got the red flags about Jenn knowing, or them being broken up, him waking up with wood, which I'm sure if he told some random girlfriend, I'm sure Jenn knew about that, okay? So major red flags, all in the police documentation, her lying, it's all there.
Number 4. Now, during the document deep dive, there were a lot of questions about this room number 4, because people are like, why is it room number 4? And is there really a chrome number 4 on the door? And what does that mean? Apparently, because of the area here and it being close to Disneyland, some of these apartments have doors that are numbered like that because people rent them out either on Airbnb or, during the holiday season, they can rent out different rooms. So the rooms had like chrome numbers on them. And Jenn Soto did rent out rooms because at the time when Madeline was murdered.
All right. Keep that in mind, folks. And thank you, Nikita. I'm sorry if YouTube's not working for some reason right now. It's fluctuating on my side. I can see 900. It goes up to 950 and then 878. So either we're getting trolled or YouTube's being weird. Thank you, Nikita, for the $10 super sticker. I hope this explains. And when I show you the documents, you're going to see everything I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the documents or you only seen bits and pieces, well, we've got them all.
There were roommates in the house. There was a lady with a 15-year-old son. There were other roommates as well. So she did rent them out, and there were numbers on the doors. But to think that you're just going to be fine with your ex-boyfriend just coming over for what? On a Sunday night? That was on the 25th. We're going to go over their calendar now. On a Sunday night, and just like walk into the house, get Madeline ready for bed, as he said. Oh, man. And then.
Yeah, we're going to read that right now. I'm giving Gisela another minute, but he gets her ready for bed and he says he showers her, folks. Did you see in that last picture how tall she was? Tall and beautiful and older already. He needed to shower her and give her nighttime meds. That means drug and SA her is what that translates to me. And if Jennifer Soto would have told the police officers the real story the first time. I really don't know. I was sleeping. He took her for the first time to school. He said he was going to take her to breakfast. I don't know what happened, or just didn't repeat the story. They would have found her sooner. Maddie wouldn't have been laying out there by herself for 3 days. Oh,
Just send them upstairs. Like, go upstairs and you sleep there because I need a good night's rest. So I'm sleeping downstairs. Like, what? So she was
Right
okay
back.
with her ex-boyfriend and daughter just going to sleep together.
yes.
The document did say that sometimes all three slept in the bed, but generally she said she used to be hyper-vigilant, but over the years, seeing how well STEPHAN STERNS got on with her daughter, she was fine with it, with them just sleeping in a bed together. That's just never okay. So that's
just never okay, everybody. I don't care if you do trust your husband. I'm going to say it 15 more times. Thank you, Alara. Never normalize having your children sleep with people. It doesn't mean to get a divorce if you don't trust your husband to sleep with your daughter. It just means that it's not the right thing to do. Men wake up with a wood. Women could do it too. Women are predators. Men are predators. Just don't do it. It doesn't mean you don't trust them. It means you love your children more than life itself, which is what I do. I wake up every day because I love my kids so much and I want to be a better person. It's not about my partner and how they're going to feel. I don't give a shit about that. So please do not normalize that. Don't go get a divorce. Just don't normalize it. We have 1,003 people in chat. Please hit that like button, and I promise you're going to get a much better show. We have someone coming on Thursday, and then I'm also going to have Bree Michelow back on after sentencing with Christopher Greger. She's been all over the news, folks.
number one that really stands out to me, and the second red flag for me, is that at no time during the police interviews, Jenn Soto doing the media interviews, all of that, did she mention that Madeline Soto, her daughter, had asthma and that she needed an inhaler. Now, this is something that was revealed.
Okay, so I forgot about this, and it's in the documents, but Grizzly True Crime dug so deep that I missed this. She had asthma, and the teachers mentioned she needed that. Not one time did they say she needed her inhaler and they needed to get it to her. And all they did was talk about her having possible autism and ADHD and victim blaming. All right, so there's another huge one: the breaking up of asthma. And then I'm going to get onto the documents, and we're going to bore you with documents, and I'll try to also talk to you at the same time, but we'll see.
In the document by one of Madeline's teachers, in fact, a PE teacher, that talked about her struggling in PE classes, sometimes having to sit out, and sometimes she would walk with her to go and get her inhaler. Why was her mother not concerned about her need to breathe?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? In those media interviews, that is a giant red flag. That's probably the biggest red flag that we uncovered in those documents, because she said, when asked directly, does Madeline have any, health issues or anything? She said, well, no, but she was diagnosed ADHD and she could be on the autism spectrum. But then recently they said she's not on the autism spectrum, but just has traits. She went off like that. At no time mentioned her medication that she was allegedly taking, that Madeline said she stopped taking on February 14th. And at no time did she mention that she had asthma. I mean, don't you think that is just the biggest red flag? So that's where the benefit of the doubt starts really wearing off for me, for Jenn Soto. And there's many other reasons, as we know, as many of you know. Okay.
Final.
So, and we are all entitled to our own opinions.
And yes, you are all entitled to your own opinions. You can come on my page and you can say respectfully your own opinions. Please don't disrespect me or anybody else. Thank you, JoJo, for gifting the 5 memberships. We have 1,036 people in here. Y'all are breaking the chat. I hope 5 of you lovely folks that actually want to be here get a membership today. So I just gave you 2 huge things that were found in the documentation of not only the things that we already knew that Jenn did, but 2 big things that she didn't say or that did happen. She didn't talk to the police about them breaking up. She told the police that was a stepfather. You're going to see it. And then she didn't bring up the inhaler and the asthma. And we also did get to see the Tyler Wallace's sister-in-law, which was Tatiana Wallace's. So not only justice for Maddie, folks, it's justice for Maddie, but I do not want you guys to be normalizing children sleeping with dads, moms, females, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters. Just don't do it. It's not about trust. I'm going to say it 15 more times. I'm so heated because last night I couldn't say anything and I wanted to say something, and I'm watching TV and it's like, what, are you trying to normalize chomos? And they are. People are trying to normalize other people getting access to children. Just don't do it. It's not about trust. Damn.
Of course, don't fight with each other in the comments or fight with me, because, we're just talking about a case that we, the public, don't know everything about, but we're starting to learn a whole lot more. All right. So now I'm going to bring up my little calendar that I've made for you because it'll make things a little bit easier to visualize. Okay. So here is a calendar that I've made for us so that we can.
All right. As soon as we're done with this calendar, I'm going to get into the documents, folks. I was, like I said, driving home, got the message about the interview, had to show you. And then this calendar is so beautiful. I'm going to put myself low for a second so you can see the calendar. And then I'm going to get into the first document, the first page of the document dump, and read it to you. Again, trigger warning, Tracy Engeron. Thank you so much for the super sticker, all of you. And I hope I don't miss anybody. Thank you again, Jojo, Fidel, Alara, Nikita, Sophie, Strategic Eyes, Justice for All, Deborah, Chantel, Nina, Drew, Jojo. There's just on and on. I appreciate you all for being here, and we need to get that information out so that we do not normalize. We're gonna call them chomos. Never normalize chomos. Let's look at this calendar really quick, big, and then I'm gonna do the documents. She just did a beautiful job. I can't even do any better.
Visualize. I don't know. This helps me so much, so I hope it helps some of you as well.
All right, hold on.
I'm like, which day and where and what this?
There you
will
go.
Just like forever stick in my mind now. Once we've got something to see like this. So of course on the top it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we're starting on February 14th, which was a Wednesday. Now on that day, Madeline had told her friends that she had stopped taking her medication. They didn't know exactly why that day. I don't think there's any special meaning to it being on Valentine's Day or something, but she just decided, yeah, she's done with her medication. Now, the documents did not specify what medication Madeline was on. And when you really hear it all, it starts sounding pretty scary because STEPHAN STERNS had told friends and, people that he'd actually been in high school with and everything that he was addicted to Adderall. And
all right, I'm going to try to get also Jenny, the advocate, on the phone. Thank you for gifting those memberships. If I have her on, I might be able to just play her through my cell phone, unless she wants to. So right now, while you're listening to this, Jenny Escoval, the advocate for the Tyler Wallace family, wants to come on. So let me see if I can make that happen real quick.
Ativan and all sorts of things. So there's quite a bit of room for speculation that he was drugging her, like sedating her at night, especially because he said on the very last night that she was known to be alive, that he got her ready for bed, which would be her having a shower and taking her nightly medication, is what he said. So that's a scary thought, because a lot of the abuse that was also documented in this 896-page document said that it appeared the victim was asleep, and it all looked like it happened in the early hours of the morning, around 3 a.m. or so. That's scary when you also pair that with, at the police press conferences, them saying that they believe Madeline was murdered in the early hours of the morning. So if we put this all together, I hope that you're following. If Madeline decided whatever medication she was told to take, that she's not done with it.
Okay, folks. So yeah, we're getting to this part, and then Jenny wants to come on and tell you about the participation from the family. Thank you for being a member. Strategic Eyes. What does a normal 13-year-old need to be assisted in getting ready for bed? Yeah, and showering. You're going to see that in the documents. It literally says getting ready for bed by showering and taking medication, which equals drugging and essaying, folks. That's what that means. Jojo, want to help the victim stay in the headlines? Please spread the word about the channel and the case. Like, sub, share, comment, have a healthy conversation, and become a member. Now, the advocate for the Wallace family is going to come on right now. She wants to just go. I'm going to have her on speaker. You're going to hear her through my mic. I'll turn it all the way up. And she wants to tell you about the participation of that. So let me do this. Let me put it this way, and you can still see the calendar, and I can still interact with you. Let me give her a call. I'll have to turn off my air. She doesn't want to go on a StreamYard, but she does want to talk. So let me get her on the phone. Hey, I can put you on speaker now. You want to let the audience know? Okay, 1 second. Well, hopefully they can hear you. They'll let me know.
Okay.
All right, folks. I have Jenny here. Do you remember the advocate Jenny? Can you say hello? Jenny.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hopefully they could hear you. If not, then we'll do StreamYard. Can you guys hear Jenny?
If you can ask them if they can hear me well.
Your phone's cutting out, though.
If you can ask them if the aliens can hear me well.
I actually can't even hear you because we can hear you, but your phone's cutting out.
No?
Okay, now they can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for sharing Nancy Grace interview with the audience. I know that their support has been so critical, and I don't think that people truly understand how important they've been in all of this. I believe that it may sound cliche, but in collaboration, and a united front, a lot of positive changes get generated. I mean, from materials for the memorial and refreshments that people have been sending us because we are getting closer to the trial, and people have been outpouring in support and love. And I did notice not many, but a couple of trolls over Nancy Grace's YouTube page, and it pained me so much that I had to ask you to join your live because people are so used to media and individuals being open and out that when people are private, especially grieving individuals like the Wallace family or like their senior herself, who is Maddie's aunt from Tatiana Wallace's side of the family.
Right.
Just because they're not open out there with that meaning that they don't really love and care for Maddie. Tara was working with me on an outline, and I was briefing her on the meeting with the senator because we've been having meetings with the senator and all these things that have been panning out, and Tara is the one who has been advocating, who has been a liaison.
What's her name?
All of this.
What's her name?
Teresina Niles.
Okay, it's Teresina.
Maddie's auntie.
Okay.
And she was running on fumes when she participated from Nancy Grace. I do know myself because I suffer from social anxiety. That whenever you participate on a live, especially when you have never ever participated in any media platforms like
Right.
Tara, you get so nervous. This woman was on the phone with me past midnight.
Yeah.
After Nancy Grace's show, which was recorded early in the morning, she had to go to work, and people have been
Tatiana
so
yes. Some people are having
brutal.
some people are having trouble hearing the call. I'd like to. I don't know if you can.
Okay,
Maybe
send me the link. Send me the link.
Okay, I'm gonna send Jen. I'm gonna send the link, y'all. If you guys could not, if you guys can come back out, I'm gonna send her the link and she can come on and talk. We want to talk about. Okay, all right. I'm gonna hang up. Bye. All right. Sorry about that, folks. Thank you for staying here. Some people dropped out. I had quite a bit of people drop out, which I hate for that to happen because I have a powerful message that I want to get across to you. And we can't do that if we don't have the outreach. So Jenny Esquivel is connected, and she'll tell you herself. Jenny is connected to the Wallace family, okay? And she's talking about the lady that we just saw, Maddie's aunt, okay? So Maddie's aunt that was on the Nancy Grace show right now, she's talking about her and preparation for it and trolls coming on there and trolling the Nancy Grace show and the auntie. Okay. So I think people don't quite understand who it is or what's going on or how they're grieving. So Jenny called me just now and wants to come on and, talk about she wants to talk about the auntie and the family and how they're grieving and to make sure that we, stay on the side and air of caution. Yeah, Tyler Wallace is the dad, folks. Okay. So I wish I could show you. I can if she doesn't come on soon. I can show you. I can't believe some people now don't know Tyler Wallace is the father. Yeah, so that's the dad's sister. Tyler Wallace is Maddie's only father. There's no stepfathers. There's nothing like that. So I don't know I don't know how long Jen's gonna take. I'm gonna put this back up and we're gonna listen to this for a minute. If she comes on, and then I'll get the documents ready. Okay, so let's listen to this. Oh, there she is. All right. Let me add her. Let me pull. All right, I'm adding you, and I'm gonna pull down. There it is. All right. Did everybody hear her?
Hi, I look crazy. I'm sorry.
You're
I'm sorry.
good.
I'm gonna apologize to the audience because this was totally improvised.
No apologies.
Yeah.
As long as your cell phone service works. If your cell phone service is spotty.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but I don't know why it keeps going in and out. All right. Yes, justice for Maddie.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I look crazy. This is improvised. I just wanted to come in here and, recognize Teresina's labor in advocating for her needs with us. And, there's so much that people do not know on media. And just because these individuals are highly private, would that mean that they're not suffering and they're going through the most horrifying situation that any human can face? And I did notice a couple of trolls who are like people on Nancy Grace's YouTube channel, and it pained me because people make assumptions on these parents, the surviving parents, like Tatiana, Tyler Wallace, Teresina, Niles.
Is there another spot in your house you can go? Because it's just literally cutting in and out.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, maybe you could, like, there's better reception, like closer. Sometimes like last time you were by the back door, maybe. I don't know why.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you better. I just don't want the audience to not be able to hear you because for me it's spotty.
Okay. Can they hear me now, guys? Can they?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you a lot better. Okay.
So just because people are highly private, would that mean that they do not care? Huh?
Nope. Now it's worse. Yeah, now it's worse. I definitely.
Let me see if in here closer to the router would work.
Yeah, it's getting better close to the router, but otherwise people won't. Yeah, and then if you turn your sound up, and then you'll be good. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but I'll have to. If you can't, I'll tell you. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
You sound echoey, and I don't know what. Yeah, do you have you? No, she doesn't have YouTube up. It's just wherever her cell phone service is, maybe a balcony or a porch. Go ahead.
Let me see.
That was the best I could hear you for the whole conversation was right now. Okay. Go ahead. Now she's frozen. Hey, we try to do these last minute things sometimes and then they don't work. Maybe I can. Okay, so she hopped off. We'll see if she comes back on. You know, she's advocating for that family, folks. And, I'm glad that she doesn't watch. There she comes back. Let's see if it works. All right. All right, let's see if it's any better. Go ahead and talk. Okay. I can see you really good. But you're frozen again. Unless you're not talking. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to push her down. All right, folks. I'm sorry about that. I was trying to do voice only, but I don't want to. I have too many people on here, so we might have to wait to do that. You know. So I'll let her know. I'm gonna put this back up. Let's do this. If this isn't the last time, if it doesn't work, I'm gonna yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. All right, we're gonna try this one more time, and then I have like 1,100 people in here waiting.
Okay.
So I don't want
I
to.
don't know if you can hear me. If you can't hear me.
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. So what I was telling you real quick is that a lot of individuals within society think that just because people are not out there and open about their suffering, grievances, their grieving process, without that.
It's not now. It's not. You're just cutting in and out now. So I don't know if you know how to just turn your camera off and do voice only. I wish I had a better solution, but yeah,
Okay.
there she goes.
Can
That's
you
what. Yeah.
right now?
Wait. Yes, that's way better. Okay.
Okay. So what I was telling you and the audience is that it's extremely painful to see how a couple of trolls do not respect and show compassion to these individuals who have endured so much privately. And people do not have access to their suffering. They pass this judgment and I mean it's so incredibly painful because it took a lot for Tara to go out there and advocate on national television on Nancy Grace's program on Maddie's behalf.
Okay, it cleared up a little bit. So what you're saying is it takes a lot. There's a lot of private, there's a lot of private things behind the scenes, and it takes a lot to even get up there and say that. And what I would say is, what somebody said is, why focus on the trolls? And I'd say it in a nicer way. I'm glad you're not on social media a lot, because out of the whole, let's say 2 hours I'm on, there's probably 50 trolls. And what I try to do is block them out. You're never going to not get those trolls. I don't know why, but I think the message that Jenny's saying is, people, this is a real crime here. This happened to Maddie, and it's trickling into
lives.
These are real lives. Yeah.
Family, the parents, everyone. You do not know how much it would be.
Your phone's cutting out again, Jenny. You're cutting out again.
How much this is affecting
there you go.
them, to the point in which you don't even know if you would be trolling these individuals on a very low day and further compromise their mental health status. Because yes, you can ignore to a certain degree, but when you have so much on your plate and you have read almost 900 pages on horrors that your baby endured, I mean, that must be freaking life compromising.
Absolutely. And like I said, I'm glad you're bringing this knowledge and telling these people that someone says shut your Wi-Fi off. I will have to to bring you down in a minute if we can't get the noise, the sound clear and the noise in the background, because it's hard to hear you. But I want your message out there that these people are, it's their lives and it's happening to them right now. So be kind and stop attacking the family. Now, people I think didn't realize that that wasn't the Soto family, and that doesn't matter, but they thought it was. I think people were thinking it was the Jenn Soto's family.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too.
Yeah, so I would I would definitely, we try to remove all of that stuff. We try to remove any negative comments, and we don't fight with each other. We had 1,100, almost 1,200 people in here, and nobody was fighting with anybody. Everyone was, all love, and we're just telling what happened in the proper way and not promoting this to happen again, right?
Yeah, that's amazing. This is why I came here to, clarify that this is not biggest family.
Yeah, we just don't want this to happen again. So, and we want people to know that the families are affected. And I want to tell them a little about the Wallaces after. But if you have anything else, if you have another thing to say, and then I gotta hop off because it's hard to hear
Yeah,
you.
it's not that easy. I mean, for non-custodial parents, it's not
Right.
that easy. We have a mother that we are trying to find a way to support her, and she has been waiting for 2 years for an emergency court hearing in Florida. 2
Right.
years
For
and
an
counting.
emergency. Right. Right. And imagine, I mean, Tyler being able to get access to his own daughter in Florida, being from Texas. So I think I need to tell people the backstory, not right now, but I need people to re-see again about just the loving family that Maddie has, and that Tyler Wallace and Tatiana are there, and they've been there. So we can stop some of the rumors because it hurts them,
And Tara has been advocating hand in
Tara,
hand with
yes.
us.
Yeah.
So
And
thank
she's
you
the one
so
on it.
much, and thanks to every single person out there supporting us. It actually has been making a huge difference, especially with the legislature proposal and everything. Everyone's support has been critical, instrumental in all of this. And
Right.
hopefully by spring, summer in 2025, we will formally present it out there, and hopefully the bill will be passed. So
Yeah.
this may breakthrough.
Well, we will plan something, and we'll talk behind the scenes. I'm gonna your phone is cutting in and out and like hard.
All
Everyone's,
right.
yeah, you know how everyone's
Thank you
complaining, but
so much.
thank you for come taking the time, and I'll talk to you soon. We'll talk behind the scenes. All right.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, folks. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for the people that did hang in here with me. We still have over 1,000 people in chat. Thank you so much. I'm going to do some document things right now. Let me pull up the documents, and I want to show you some of the things that were, that have been going on, and see if I can get them a little bit bigger, just so you can actually see. I know you've probably seen them before, and you've seen them on other channels, but there's certain things that just stand out that I wanted to get to you. So let me look here. Hang in there with me. Things come and they go, and I'm trying to improvise. So yeah, no victim shaming. Absolutely no victim shaming. Yes, thank you to Jenny. Even though she didn't have that great of a reception, I try to improvise with what I can do. And I respect all that are involved. So thank you, Sweetie Brookshire. Yeah, we thank her. 555. We have 1,000 people in chat, folks, and I appreciate all of you. The show went a little bit different than I expected today, but we're still going. So let me talk about the incident report a little bit, and if you want, we can go back to the map. All right. I don't know how many of you have seen this or what, but let me read some of this to you. So this was the incident report from that day, and it talks about during this time it was discovered. It's an actual incident report from the police department, and there's things redacted because we had to. And I'm not going to read some of the things, obviously, because it's the same stuff it's CSAM stuff, right? So it talks about this. During this time, it was discovered the vehicle had been driven on February 27, 2024, between they talk about 327 and 425 and US 192 vehicle. And they're talking about Stephan Stern's vehicle. Now, after Stephan's phone had been successfully downloaded the morning of February 28th, 2024. Now, keep in mind that they did very well. Sergeant D. Stamatic within the digital forensic units contacted Corporal Avia to advise them there was CSAM on the cell phone. And during the review of the pictures they observed, and we know all the stuff they observed. I'm not gonna talk about that stuff, but in the picture they located in Stephan's phone a black mark near the tip of his, they say, shaft on there. Okay, so the Kissimmee Police Department advised the findings, and the detective responded to Central Operations. That's when the search warrant began, folks. So keep that in mind. After that exploded, everything exploded from there. Okay, so I don't know why this is doing that to me. Some of the words I don't want you to see, and some things I do. So, and also I want to be mindful of the family and some of the documents. So as I go through them, yeah, busy mom, she believed Jenny was saying important information, and I wish I could have heard her better, but I know it's annoying when I have that many people on and nobody can hear. I can't hear. So, I did what I could. I saw a 5-minute YouTube clip from Nancy Grace. Crime Story's not sure to watch a full interview. Yeah, there is a full interview, and I think it hasn't come out yet. So I'm going to read a little more of this. I think you don't need to see the whole thing just because, but I'll pull up some other relevant information. We can go back and forth. I told you I would do the document dump. You know my side of things. You know where I stand, and where I stand is #arrest Jenn Soto. The advocates are doing a fantastic job. They have to fight these trolls and these people all the time. Yeah, 5 years of hell. Thank you for saying that. So let me read some more, and I'll go through this with you so you know what we have. Now, keep in mind this was February 28th. They saw the distinctive markings on Stephan Stern's. Then the search warrant was served on February 28th at 8 o'clock. It says 0800 hours a resident. The detectives were able to locate several items observed with CSAM images in Stephan's phone. While conducting the investigation early in the afternoon of February 28th, members of the family requested to travel to Orange County Sheriff's Central Operations and attend the sheriff's press conference. I think this says Jennifer Soto and Stephan were offered a ride by detectives, and they agreed to the rides and were driven separately. Upon their arrival, the detective Morris and I made contact with, I could see Jennifer Soto's name under there. So please, and then it says, please see case number. So as she spoke to Jennifer, you can see what the names are, which is nice because we already know it's Jenn by now. Members of the violent crime squad, they continued to canvass the area for video surveillance. Prior to finishing the interview with Jennifer, I was advised that VCS had located the video of Stephan discarding something in the trash compactor located in this apartment. Okay, so I want you to, and this was on February 26th at 7:35 in the morning. What I want you to understand are, and these are key points. I want you to understand that Jenn was there as this unfolded. She was there obviously before it unfolded. She made the story up with Stephan, or they did it together. They kept repeating it together, and I'm really surprised that she's not #arrested, #Jenn Soto arrested, because now we're going to talk about them as it unfolds and them telling her and her not doing anything or being angry. We saw these press conferences and nothing. She was concerned for herself, I believe, in my opinion. Okay. So again, hopefully the family is not watching this right now. I'm trying to be as non-vulgar, but I want to tell you the story about what they found. So they're finishing the interview. They advised that they located Stephan Stern's dumping at 7:35 in the morning in the trash compactor, Maddie's backpack, In the video, they observed the female wearing a green sweater in the front seat of the vehicle. The female appeared to be completely slumped over with her mouth ajar. At this time, Detective Ballardis established custody of the trash compactor until Waste Management arrived for their regularly scheduled pickup. The detective then followed the trash compactor. Wow, they followed it to 4978. They gave the address until Waste Management arrived for their regular pickup. Right? So then that's how they met the district manager and provided separate areas. They provided approximate date and time, and they were able to see Stearns throwing a tire in the compactor. Based on that, Antonio was able to provide an approximate location where the tire would be located in the contents. All right. So the Orange County Sheriff's forensics units responded to the location, was able to locate the intact tread of a tire, which they advised matched the tread pattern on the rear tire. So Stephan Stearns really did. You guys should know that by now. He really did get a flat tire. Okay. So if there's anybody that still, I think there's people that are way behind and they are in, I see them in threads, other threads that say, oh, I don't think he really got one. A flat tire, it's a ruse. If you're way that far behind, it wasn't a ruse. God or whoever above made that happen, and the guy called it in. Okay. So not only did they find the tire, but they located a white trash bag which contained a black backpack with a purple Hawaiian print and a white crock. So there was one crock in the trash with the backpack, and then also the tire. Okay, so they located also the school's computer, the Orange County Public School, with Madeline's name on it. Based on the information, it was determined the backpack and its contents to be the forensic unit. It was forensic units collected tire, backpack, and crock. So that's how they got that evidence. And then I'm trying to get to where they actually arrested him. After Stephan's interview, the Orange County office unit responded to the interview room in Central 1 operation to a DNA search warrant. It says 2A, but took a search warrant for Stephan. During this warrant, the CSI took several pictures of Stephan's body, his pee, his winky, and collected all of his clothing. The detective Junko and that person located the black mark on Stephan's winky, which is consistent with the winky pictures on his cell phone. All right. The pictures of Stephan's scar on his right wrist were also taken. Now they call it scars, but I heard there was scratches. So I'm not sure if they're referring to the scratches as a scar or what they're talking about. But Stephan was taken into custody for the arrest warrant by detectives for essaying and because of the familial custodial authority and possession of CSAM. Following the interview, and there's more. Okay, so let's stop sharing that for a minute. I'm trying to decide what to go through. There's so many of these documents, and all I can keep going, but I don't want to not pay attention to you all. So yeah, he probably dropped the crock with absolutely Alexita. How do you say that? Elizita. He did probably drop the crock when he carried her out to the apartment by the monster. I agree with that. I think he dropped it and he just grabbed everything he could. Yeah, Stearns is a demon. Absolutely. I do imagine that, folks. And I do want to get out to Florida. I do. I still want to, but I'm going to have to get pictures and videos and show you that half of my ceiling is off and my roof is missing. So, I can't ditch the fam and just jam out to Florida right now. All right. I think Maddie told Jenn, and Jenn reacted in a way that Maddie feel like even more unsafe if her own mom would have believed her, protect her. I agree. I do agree. I'm going to play some more. I actually want to play some more Grizzlies video while I find the next document that I think would be relevant for this particular. I don't want to talk too much about the SA stuff. That's the thing. We know all about the SA stuff, and talking about it over and over is traumatic. Synth Serber, I am in California. All right, let's play some more of this Grizzly stuff, and then I'll find some more documents to share with you that I think are relevant and not so much the terrible, not like everything's not terrible, but it's hard. And that's rough. It is just so traumatic. Jenny B says, why would anyone lie everyone instead of helping their, yes, why would anyone lie? We saw how many videos? And let's listen to Gizela talk about how many more other things and the dates and times that Jenn Soto did. I can't wait to get strategic on here too, because he has a strong, passionate opinion, and I love it because he's a man, and he even knows he's not going to sit there and feel like we're man bashing. We're just saying protect your kids and don't hand them over to a man or to anybody. I love that his ego is not getting in the way, and every man should feel that way. And if somebody gives you your kid to sleep in bed with them, say no, thank you. That's not. I'm okay. All right, let's listen to her for a little bit. Let me dig some more documents up.
Because she's so tired of being tired. She stopped taking it, right? Now imagine if it was the predator, STEPHAN STERNS' routine to sedate her, wait until like 3 a.m, and then abuse her, maybe obviously when she's not even awake. Because it says appears the victim is sleeping when he's doing what.
Now, Connie, I do want to tell you that it didn't say whether the tire was good or shredded, but I'll tell you right now, knowing STEPHAN STERNS and how lazy he is, he's not going to take a tire off for just to take a tire off and change the tire just to pretend like he is. I'm 99% sure that he had a flat tire and he threw that away and didn't want them to see the tire treads because he left the tire treads where he left the body. So that's where he got a flat. He was looking for a spot to dump the body, and he got a flat tire. So I'm 99% sure that he really did get a flat tire, folks. All right, let's listen a little more. I want to find some documents to share.
All these things and filming all these things, right? Now, if she stopped taking her medication and he came over on February 25th, and Jenn Soto sent STEPHAN and Madeline upstairs, but she was not on her medication. You see what I'm saying? She may have reacted very differently to what he was used to. Maybe she got really upset. Maybe she said, I'm going to tell people what you're doing, whatever it is. And that led to him murdering her. I don't know, but I think it's quite plausible that things were different that night on February 25th because she was no longer sedated.
And that's a huge point right there, that she didn't take her medicine. She wasn't sedated. And that picture we just saw, folks, she was almost taller than her mom. She was definitely taller and thinner and like more limber looking. She could fight back a lot better. I think that without being medicated, turning 13, wanting that freedom, her saying she was gonna, move out to the woods or whatever. She was tired of it. She had just had over a month off, folks. She had a break for over a month where STEPHAN STERNS wasn't at the house doing that to her. Didn't have this whiny Minnie Mouse man. It's time to go to bed. Let's take a shower now, and here's your pills. You can have your phone if you didn't have that guy eating her food and being weird to her. And she's a little young woman, folks. And she fought back. The police says there's scratch marks on STEPHAN STERNS, and I believe she fought back hard, and that was a result of it. Now, rest in peace to Maddie. Thank God that she's resting in peace and no longer being harmed. Sherry says, Jay, you're right. He was too lazy to change a perfectly good tire. Absolutely. And that's why he was so messy in the way that he placed the body, folks. Jenn should be locked up in a mental facility. The only problem with that is that they'd be too easy on her. She needs to go to prison, folks. I won't be happy until she goes to prison. 100% flat tire by gods and angels. So Maddie be found and not a missing person. I 110% agree. That was by a higher power that happened. So, and I'm looking for I have some really good information, and Grizzly does who she's seeing enough, but I wanted to talk about the Holiday Inn and when they found the spot that STEPHAN, that's where STEPHAN moved the body and all that, and then the contact with Maddie's aunt and grandfather. Oh, there's so much. Let me play this for a second, and then I'll pull something out of my hat.
And the reason I say that as well is because her friends at school said that while she was a little bit more moody, a little bit snappy, she had way more energy and she was doing well at school all of a sudden because she was really just scraping by, getting D's and F's the whole time, showing no interest, falling asleep in class. Lots of teachers were interviewed, counselors, all of that, friends, and they said suddenly she had more energy. She was doing better at school. She actually won Student of the Week on February 16th, which must have made her so excited. Then it was that following week here between the 19th or so there, leading up to her birthday, because at the press conference, police said about a week before, right, she went missing. Now we know she was murdered. But about a week before, she had texted one of her friends saying when she turns 13, she's going to run away and live in the woods. So as you can see, she stops taking her medication. Schoolwork improves. She's got more energy, and she's like, I'm getting out of here.
And this makes so much sense, folks. And thank you for the super sticker. I'm also going to get into today the Barbara and Gerald Belmore statement. And those are the neighbors. And one of the neighbors has been, he's in jail right now for being a chomo. And he was their neighbor in close proximity with Stephan Stearns. Everybody talks about Santa. Thank you, Michelle H. I want to put that up. Yes, she's a monster who gave her daughter to a monster. And if someone doesn't see what crime she committed, then it's absolutely outrageous. It mentions the genes. New documents for law enforcement will locate Madeline. So yeah, I do have this one, and I can play it, Jess. And no, Bree, I do have. I can understand the way you organize the documents. I'm just trying to be mindful, as Jenny just came on here, and I don't want to mention too much of the CSAM stuff that happened to Maddie. So yeah, there's another chomo, Christina Kane. I want to bring that up right now. So I'm going to share the document right now where there's a neighbor. Let me go to this because I get this information because people message me about it. So Gerald Belmore, let me see. He is in jail right now for the same type of things that Stephan is. Okay, I'm going to share this with you real quick. Let me share my screen and let's put right here. I'm just going to pull this up. Okay. I'm just going to put this page 61 and 62. Gerald and Barbara Belmore. Gerald, this guy that the police interviewed, he's on the witness list, folks. He's currently incarcerated for CSAM charges. And he appears as a family of Barbara Belmore. The law enforcement interviewed Gerald Belmore. All right, can you see this? Okay, so I have 1,054. Yes, there's more people. So we've got Santa now. We've got this guy that's a neighbor, and I'll read you the interview. He's on the witness list. He's in jail right now. And yeah, you're absolutely right. They're all over the place, but I don't believe that I don't believe Santa had anything to do with Mickey Mouse, Devil, Stephan Stearns. Yeah, she handed over. And when people say that Jenn there's no evidence, please haven't arrested Jenn because there's no evidence that she did anything. She told us the evidence that she did. All right, so let me show you or read the witness statement. All right, so there's statements from Barbara and Gerald Belmore, and it says at the residence of whatever, the police officer made contact with Barbara and Gerald. Now, keep in mind, this Gerald guy, or Gerard, no, it says Gerald, is in jail, serving time for CSAM stuff. They were interviewed by the police and later returned to their residence and conducted a consensual audio recorded sworn interview. The officer uploaded the recorded interview into evidence via Axon, which is body cam. Here's a following summary of the interviews. Okay, Barbara and Gerald, and I have a feeling that they're like husband and wife or something. Yes, there's 1,000 viewers. Squash that like button, folks. This is another predator right on the same street. They're the neighbors. Yeah, there's way too much evidence. Please are just looking into it. Thank you. I'll leave that while I read this. All right, so a lot of people didn't talk about this because I don't think they realized that Gerald Barbara and Gerald, I think they're husband and wife. Gerald's in jail, and he's a chomo too. Okay, so they have spent their witness and they have spent their winters and springs at the complex. So they live at the complex where Maddie lived and Jenn and Stephan Stearns for the past 18 years, and they know Maddie's grandfather. So they were there when Juan was there and so forth. Juan is a grandfather that resided with the mother, Jennifer Soto, for many years and helped raise Maddie. A few years ago, and I believe they say Juan moved out, and then they say somebody married, and they call Stephan Stearns a stepfather. So they think that Jenn is married to Stephan Stearns. In this interview, they're saying that Stephan Stearns is a stepfather, which is another miscarriage of justice. Calling him the stepfather detracts you from thinking that he's done anything to this girl and it's perfectly normal. And I do believe when Jenn Soto is telling people that, oh yeah, they sleep together, I send them to bed, it's her stepfather, she's doing it for two reasons. One, to make it sound normal, and two, in case they get caught or find out or find anything, that it's off of her back. Oh no, I didn't know that was her stepfather. We've been together for 7 years. What are you talking about? All right. And the only reason I don't think that she might have been pregnant is because they already would have come back that she was. They also said that she was 2 weeks late, but that she was 2 weeks late and she started. So I don't think so. All right, so he was just the boyfriend. Yeah, Stephan Stearns was the boyfriend. In this interview with Barbara and Gerald, they thought that Stephan Stearns was a stepfather. Gerald's chomo. They believe Stephan worked out of town. Okay, here's a story that and I see you on here, Bree. I can understand these notes. Okay, Barbara and Gerald believe Stephan worked out of town because they arrived at the complex in December 2023. Let me do this. I'll make it bigger. So I don't even think you'll be able to read it. It doesn't matter. I'm reading it for you. Okay. So that couple thought Stephan worked out of town because they arrived at the complex December 2023 and they had not seen him until approximately a week ago. Again, he was there in December and not back until January 26th. Barbara and Gerald were unsure what kind of vehicle he drove, but they had seen him a couple weeks back into the, and then it says, I believe it's Juan's white vehicle, or it could have been, I think it's Juan's. They described, no, because Juan had already been gone. It's one of the vehicles out of the three that they have that's white. They described Stephan as a tall white man with a full beard that usually wears a baseball cap backwards, folks. So that baseball cap is that one that everyone's saying, is that a do-rag? What is that? All right. So yeah, nothing makes any better, even if he were the blood father. Thank you. I want to leave that up. I don't even care if it's a blood father. Don't normalize it. So Jenn was going around letting people believe Stephan was a stepfather and giving him access to her child. This is the interview from Chomo and Barbara. They're talking about Stephan. They say, according to them, they never walked home to or from school, that Maddie never walked home to or from school, that Jenn drove her to and from school every day. However, they did not remember seeing her return from school on Monday or Tuesday. We know Monday she never came home. Tuesday, obviously, she didn't come home. They believe the last time they saw her was Saturday or Sunday when she was walking the family dog, which caught their eyes. Because Jenn usually walked the dog. Monday night, Barbara looked through her window and observed 3 people at Jenn Soto's door. One of them was an adult male, one a female, and the other one, she was unsure, the third one. Barbara saw one of them hide someone. I guess they hide somebody. It caught Barbara's eye because usually the family does not have many visitors. Barbara and Chomo described Maddie as a sweet girl adored by her grandfather. There you go. They knew her grandfather. They added that she was a homebody and very polite. At the conclusion of the area canvass, the officer responded to the clubhouse, and that's the address where I met the detectives and received surveillance video from the dumpster and the front gate to include the video with security guard contact with Stephan Stearns in the morning of the incident. The security guard was later identified as, they took his name out, Alex was contacted and he responded where he interviewed Detective Kyle. He was present during the interview. Okay, I'm going to take that down. So I'm bringing bits and pieces that we don't know or we haven't particularly heard. Hold on. I could hear my daughter. I'm going to play this video real quick. I don't know what happened. It's going on, but there's another mom in the house here. All right, play this for 1 second.
That's interesting to me. It's as if without the sedation, the survival instinct really kicked in and she was like, I'm done with this, right? So, yes, I don't know if STEPHAN STERNS, the predator, was quite expecting that. I worry about that. Okay, I worry about many things, of course, in this case, but that is what happened on February 14th. February 16th, she won this Student of the Week award, and it sounded like, they said it was like a door painting project, and the students who were working on it included, of course, Madeline, and they would come in early, to school and leave a bit later because they were busy, I think, painting and decorating this door, and the message was,
sorry about that, folks. My daughter's fine. She just saw one of our dogs being groomed and the dog got shaved. Sorry. Stefan was recording the roommate under the door. Gross weirdos. Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious to know how Stefan was acting before and after Maddie visited father. I bet you he was. You know what? I can actually tell you if we were to look back at documents that Stefan didn't want her visiting, and many times when she did, he would not come around. He was there for Maddie, folks, not for Jen.
Spread love and kindness, which Madeline was part of, and that just makes the case just even more sad because she was certainly not shown love and kindness at home from everything we're hearing. Okay, now we fast forward to Thursday, February 22nd. That day, that's her actual birthday. That's the day that she turned 13 years old. But she told her friends that usually she got money for her birthday, but she was very disappointed with what she got that year, which plausibly, when you hear the whole document, one could speculate her mother didn't give her a birthday gift that year is what it sounds like, or way less than usual or something.
Now, can you hear the disdain that her mom has? Even it's coming through, and like I said, Grizzly True Crime usually doesn't take sides, but when and her reading the documentation, you're seeing what she's seeing, and yeah, it's not good. Jen, he was never interested in you, and you're right, he never was interested. Jen, in all the pictures you can see, he was totally interested in Maddie, and I think he truly, with that other lady, he was testing his boundaries. Thank you, Rosie, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Every bit helps. I think he was interested in testing the boundaries with the girlfriend when he told her that he woke up with wood and then he had to turn around. I really think he wanted to see, because some women will, I don't know why, but like Jen, they'll hand their daughter over. So I think he was testing the boundaries, and yeah, Stefan is so evil. I wonder if he'll make it to trial. That's another reason I'm hesitant about going to Florida, because I don't know if trial's actually going to happen. It took just hitting the like button helps, Rosie. Your comments help. There's a 111 right now, 1116, but the triple digit is an angel number. And Maddie, we see you. We're here for you, and we want justice. And we want to do it respectfully. Yeah, Stefan serves a pampered dumbass who had lots of bad behavior with speeding tickets and so many other things. And microwave cheese, I love microwave cheese. My daughter takes cheese and throws it in a bowl and just microwaves cheese and then eats it with a fork. So thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. You guys, this show is totally, it's like not planned the way it was planned today, but thank you all for being here today. I hope Jenn Soto spends time in jail as well. I hope she gets the Casey Anthony treatment. And I think she will. I think she'll get the Casey Anthony treatment no matter what happens to her. Thank you, DZ. $10 super chat. So much. Love you, Jay, and your channel. Awesome coverage. Blessings to all. Thank you. And if you guys don't have to have money, just hit the like button. Hit the like button. Share it. Talk about it. Talk good about it. Stay humble. stay, don't get into the gossip and all that stuff, please. Let's stick to the facts, guys. I don't know if the trial's going to be televised. It's going to be a pretty terrible it's going to be a terrible trial. Thank you, Lisa, for saying I'm doing awesome. I have to improvise with what I have. I got kids in the background, dogs in the background, things going on, people calling my phone, people texting me like, craziness, folks. So I do what I can. Vanessa Soto, justice for Maddie. I wonder if that's a Soto. Are you related, Vanessa? All love to all families. No love for Jenn Soto or Stephan Sterns. I'm sorry though. I can't. Thank you, Donna Rios. Love the last name. One of my best friends growing up was Rios. All right, let's listen some more. Let me see if I have any interesting documents that haven't already been shared a million times by now.
Right? It sounded like that birthday was different. Remember, Stephan Sterns wasn't there. It was Madeline and her mom living at that house that I showed you in the Venetian Bay Villages, right? Jenn said that Stephan had visited 2 to 3 times between December of 2023 when they broke up and February 25th of 2024. I don't know if that's true or not because she seems like she can lie quite well based on everything you're seeing. But anyway, if we now pair it that was her birthday, right? And she didn't have a birthday party with her mother or Stephan Sterns. Her birthday party actually happened on February 25th, a Sunday, at her grandmother's house. So now, if we look at everything that everyone said, Stephan Sterns said, and I wonder where exactly he heard that. Did he hear it along the way or from a friend or what? Because I'm not certain that he knew that Madeline stopped taking her medication based on what I said earlier. Now, he said that Madeline had been staying with her grandparents for most of the week. He means leading up to February 25th, and that she had stopped taking her medication. Side note, Jenn Soto's mother, I think her name's Yolanda, does not like Stephan Sterns, and that was documented. So the snark was on, okay? So if Madeline was actually staying at her grandmother's house that whole week, let's say.
All right, so there you have it. And it is documented. Yolanda and the whole family did not like Stephan Sterns at all, not even a little bit. You can tell how they acted in the interview with him in the middle of the room. I don't believe that they were invited to the party. I think Jenn wasn't invited. She did say she started a job, but she was only working 10 hours a week, folks. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, Gisela K shows us what she thinks of Stephan Sterns. Absolutely. And right now I'm focusing on trying to get through documents and hearing people say that Jenn Soto shouldn't be culpable for this and she didn't know. It infuriates me, and trying to normalize chomos and trying to normalize access to a child, that infuriates me. And so that's why I came on here today. It infuriates me to even insinuate that oh, if you don't trust somebody, you should divorce them. No, it's not about trust. It's about loving your child and putting them first. Safe state. I'm so pleased to catch you live. Gazelle's recap today was pretty awesome. I'm currently working on a full-blown review of the evidence, but my time has been limited. Right, and I have all the documents here I'm looking at, but it's like, how much more can I read? I'm looking at the interview from the kids at school and the teachers, and it's just so much. Yeah, and I have it here. I just am like, let me see what else I can share with you. I could share lots of things, but there's just so much. Let's see. I wanted to share this with you because we were talking about this here. This was the sketch of the scene where Madeline was, where he left her and where he got the flat tire. So I wanted to show you if you can see it. Hold on, thank you, Samantha. Hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. Hashtag justice for Maddie. I appreciate it. Make it myself a little smaller so you can see that. That's actually from the police department. And you can see there where, let me show you where he got a flat tire. And that's why I believe he got a flat tire. And it says not to scale, of course. So it was the third bush in. here. They counted 3 bushes in, and they talk about it in the documents where he just put Maddie. So he was coming down this way. Stephan Stearns was driving down here, and he came to find a spot. And when he pulled off, he got a flat tire. This is what I believe. He pulled over here and just dropped Maddie anywhere he could, flipped back around, and tried to do is fix his flat tire. I doubt he was coming from this way and went over here, so I'm pretty sure he came here, stopped off. There's a gate right here. The gate obviously was open, and then he came back around and somebody saw him. So you can see the picture of, the body where they have at the crime scene and where they saw him changing his tire. And luckily, had somebody not seen that, folks, it would have been, I don't know what would have happened. So, yeah, Maddie was seeking her freedom. She didn't want to live with Jenn anymore. And I agree with that. I know they should have as well. I'm on. Oh, you stole that video. Just tell them mine. Well, thank you, Holly and Jay, for supporting us and being here. Yeah, Maddie gave him that flat tire. Mean people suck. You're right. Sweet and salty. What's up? Hey, Jay, aka Rachel. We'll call you Rachel. We'll call you whatever you want to be called. Microwave cheese. Since Maddie was found, not a peep from the mother. Interesting. Right. And if you want to hear the other side of it, not a peep, right? But then you hear from the other side, well, she's not coming out because she's scared to. She's afraid if she comes out that something's going to happen to her. No, absolutely not. You couldn't keep a pack of wolves, me away from my daughter. If I was a pack of wolves in my way, I would get through. So she didn't go to the funeral, didn't go to the memorial, didn't go to the vigil. We have Stephan Stearns behind bars. I don't want to put that. Nah, you guys talk amongst yourself about that. I don't want to be in the drama, but I do want to bring real information. Hey, beautiful people, been listening the whole time. I'm glad you're still here. We've had a crazy live today. You never know what's going to happen here, especially when I answer my phone and do things like that. Call me whatever. I answer to most things. Well, I don't want to say inappropriate things. 111 again. All right, let's see what else. I have so many documents, but I just don't want to. I don't want to be inappropriate, especially knowing that like the family's on here and so forth. All right, I'm gonna pull up the crime scene report. I'm gonna take a look at that. But I just want to be respectful, knowing the aunt just went on. They're watching everything and all that. So I'm kind of just looking at this behind the scenes. There's not a lot on here. Let's see. The incident report. We already went over that. I responded. Verbal consent. Yeah, this guy's an idiot. Stephan Stearns. Okay, this is what I want to talk about. Let's talk about the hotel. Because a lot of you had questions about the hotel situation and why the heck they were in a hotel. All right. Thank you all for all the mods that are here today helping out. Thank you for I don't know if I saw that one. I think I did, but thank you. Let's share this. We'll share a little more and then we'll just call it. But I do have some things I want to show you because there's so many documents, but I feel like a lot of it came out already. It's already been out and it's like, what's new? So I did want to bring you information that you haven't heard or that just came out today, or rewatch it, right? Because if you I don't think you guys saw that Nancy Grace thing yet. All right. Paul Eckert, let me see. Because if that's who you mean, he's the one who's been attacking his subscribers about Jenn. He's also guilts his viewers into giving money. It's very unprofessional. Yep. There's no names being said here, but if anybody does that, please don't do that. It's terrible to do that. Off subject, does anyone know if the biological parents were interviewed? They absolutely were interviewed. There's no biological parents. There's one parent, and the other parent is Jenn Soto. So you guys need to see Tyler Wallace. There's a lot of people that I think didn't get onto this case. Let me there's a lot of stuff in chat right now. Let me read this incident report, and then I'll see if I can find a video of Tyler Wallace. Or if someone wants to send me a link or something of the Tyler Wallace video. It's kind of unbelievable that a lot of you, I think, just came into the case. Okay, check your email. All right. So let me see if I have anything because I have all the interviews with Tyler Wallace and Tatiana. It's just that we've already gone over them. All right. Now, Millie, I'm not sure what email you're sending it to. You might be sending it to the Twisted Images email. And if I can't get it, then I don't want people sitting here waiting. So I'm checking my email. There's nothing. And okay, pictures of Maddie. Oh, that's great. All right, let's see. Oh, nothing came through. It came through as a weird. Oh, there's an MP4. Let me see if I could find them. That would be great if I could play those. All right, so somebody send me pictures of Maddie. It's an MP4. Let's see if I'm able to play them. Hold on. Oh, wow. Hold on. Let's do this. Let me start it over. Oh, this is beautiful. Thank you, Millie. All right, I guess I'll do this real quick and then come back. We're all over the place today, everybody. All right, I did get it, Millie. I'm going to read this report, and then I'm going to show you a bunch of beautiful pictures of Maddie that you have not seen. All right. So let's clear this up really quick. There was the hotel, and I don't even know why Stephan Stern's dad came to the hotel. That is really, other than him just trying to save his son's ass. All right, I didn't want to. Okay, here we are. Really quickly, I want to talk about Stephan Stern's and Jennifer Soto being at the hotel. All right, so we heard about this, but on February 27th, this officer responded. They made contact with Stephan Stern's and they conducted a digitally recorded interview. We heard the interview. That was 30 something minutes. Stephan provided verbal consent for the detective and I to review his cell phone in front of him. Oof, could you imagine that? It should be noted that Stephan's phone contained only phone calls, texts, and other data from the last day. Stephan indicated he accidentally factory resetted the cell phone on February 26th. Now we know, while attempting to update his phone. Okay, now while on the scene, Detective Tagler reviewed the surveillance, and here's a review of the surveillance. On February 28th at 1:30, they accompanied Stephan's vehicle, which was being towed to their Orlando, Florida place. At approximately 2:40, they submitted Stephan's phone, described as a black Samsung, to their digital forensics. So he had a black Samsung, and then he had an iPhone, folks. I don't know if you knew that, but he had the two phones, and I believe he did a factory reset, probably on both of them. But the iPhone is the one that he was trying to play dumb on. Oh, I just got it, so forth. All right. So they didn't arrest him yet. They took his phone and they needed to look at it. So they transported Stephan from his hotel. They were at the hotel with his dad, Jenn, and him. All right. On March 1st, after they reviewed and collected the data from the town place. Yeah, okay. The pictures were played at the funeral, the ones I'm going to show you after. The video surveillance revealed. Okay, so on March 1st now, we're 26? We're 5 days out. They reviewed that at 213 hours, Stephan Stern and Stephan's father Stephan, Jenn, and Stephan's father check into the hotel at the front desk. Stephan and Jenn are given room 239, and Stephan's father is given room 203. Now, this is all within an amount of what, 4 or 5 days now we're talking. This is the 5th day on March 1st, but now we're going back to the 28th when they're at the hotel. So Jenn Soto goes with Monster Stephan Stearns and stays at a hotel while they're collecting evidence. Okay. So Jen's in the room 239 and they call Stephan. Anyway, they call Stephan's father's 239 and 203. Jenn is with the devil. They talk about Stephan exiting the hotel through the main front entrance at approximately 7:28, which is what, 4 hours later. Stephan's father then exits the hotel through the main front entrance at approximately 9:54 hours, exits the hotel to walk her dog, Jenn. So they're all just doing different things. And then she comes back at 10:03 on February 28th at approximately 10:50 hours. Stephan's father re-enters the hotel through the main front entrance and re-enters, and then Stephan re-enters. People were saying that possibly Jenn was walking the dog and Stephan was out getting rid of evidence. But the thing that bothers me is that Jenn is even with him at the hotel. I don't know if he got rid of evidence. He didn't do a good job. Now, on February 28th at 15:07, which is what, 3:07, they check out of the hotel at the front desk, and 8:19 hours, Stephan's father checks out of the front desk. They're just talking about who and what. Surveillance footage from the time Stephan exits and enters the hotel through the main front entrance were uploaded into evidence. Okay, this basically just tells you what they were doing, and that Stephan's dad was there. That's why the documents are like just too much right now after being on for so long. Okay, I'm gonna thank you all for still being here. I'm gonna show you those beautiful pictures of Maddie. JSU, $10 super chat. I love your content. Do you mind if I respectfully express some contradictory feeling toward Jenn? Absolutely. You please feel free to say anything that you want to. I'm going to show Maddie. I hope that you can say that now. Say whatever you want in chat. The angels are watching. 555. You know, there's actually 1,122 people in chat. It's crazy. What is a flame war? I have no idea, but I'm going to play some pictures while you guys chat. Let's see if I can get this. No, not an extra camera. Stop. Video file. I clicked on the wrong thing. All right, let's see if I could do this. You guys are going to love this. It's beautiful. Today's the 18th. This is beautiful. This was, thank you, Millie. So there's more pictures. It's insane. Thank you, Millie. That almost, yeah, no more pain, sweet Maddie. We're at 2 hours, everybody. Yeah, thank you. Thank you everybody for all the input today. It didn't go as planned today. None of it did. None of this went as planned, but right now it's 111, and it's interesting because that's just an angel number again. And Maddie, just sweet Maddie, no more pain. Beautiful Maddie, we love you. We're here for you. We want, yeah, it breaks my heart too. And we want hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. Maddie, we love you. We're here for you. We're here to get full justice, and we want to be respectful with each other and about the case. And that's why there's certain things that today I just couldn't say. I wanted to do a document dump, but things changed. Jenny came on. She's an advocate, and I didn't want to start talking about Maddie's body or flies or decomp or any of that. Like I'm sorry, but yeah, thank you all for being here. Why is Jenn being overweight significant? Jenn being overweight is significant because she had a gastric sleeve, and so did STEPHAN STERNS, and that's how they met. Many people don't know that, but the roommate, the only person on Jenn's side that's talked at all, Stella, is Jenn's ex-roommate. Now we all know that we all know, if we're here, that who's been here, CM is the ex-roommate. We all know that Jenn has had many roommates, and she had roommates up until the day that they searched the place. And still, I don't know if they live there. So STEPHAN STERNS and Jenn Soto bonded over being overweight with a gastric sleeve. All right? Does that make sense to you? Rest in peace, Maddie. God bless her. Yes. So that's what happened. I don't think STEPHAN STERNS was interested in her at all. He realized she had a daughter. And I'm not going to give her a pass and say, oh, she was insecure, so she let him do. No, you watch your daughter. Don't hand it over. Don't hand your daughter over, folks. And hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. Do not normalize giving your children to anybody. Not a woman, not a man, not a cousin, not an uncle. I'm in before. Yeah, a bunch of roommates also could have been dangerous. Now, listen, quick story. I don't care who it is. And my son knows I raised him. He's going to be 25 and my daughter's going to be 10. I did not let him spend the night anywhere. I told him, boys get SA'd too. You could wake up and there can be some guy with his wood on you doing something. I never let him go out and stay the night anywhere. I never let him go anywhere. I always had to have friends over. I made sure I watched him. I was very overprotective. He was mad at me up until now. But he does the same thing with his sister. He watches out for her. He says she's going to be 10 and he's 25. And he says, you can't jump in my lap anymore, sweetheart. You can't jump on me or jump in my lap or any guy's laps anymore. You're too old for that. And we know what happens. It's not men. We're not men bashing. It's not your fault. But you can be touched the wrong way. It can be rubbed the wrong way. And when it rubs the wrong way, it goes like this. I had 2 boys that we raised, my nephew and my son, and they would tell me, Mom, my son and my nephew, Mom, I was in class and I saw this girl and it just went like this. What do I do? And I'm like, tuck it into your band, your underwear band or whatever. It just happens. Boys do that. And it's not I'm not man bashing. Jenn should have never neglected her. You're absolutely right. So it doesn't matter. You have to be overprotective and protective. I'm overprotective. Thank you. Yes, you're good, Jay. Way good moms are very protective. Absolutely. And still, my daughter's brother is 15 years older, and I don't say go sleep with your. He doesn't live here, but I wouldn't say that because yes, predators are everywhere, and that's not okay. Oh my! You have a 25-year-old son. You look like you're 35. No, I'm not 35. I'm about to be 45 next month. All right. So yeah, I'm not as young as you might think, but that's very sweet of you. I was the same way with my daughter and son. Absolutely. It's not that you don't trust your son or trust your daughter. It's just you're a good parent and you were taught the right way. don't go get a divorce because you don't trust your husband. It's not about trusting your husband. You just don't do that. What the hell is even anybody talking about? All right, y'all, we've been here, and I don't want to be on a soapbox. I want justice for Maddie. JC, you're the best, Jay. So respectful. You guys are respectful. Thank you so much for not having a bunch of people in chat that are, that are over here fighting and arguing. I'm 45 as well, 1978, Gen X, y'all. Absolutely. I'm a Gen Xer, born in 1979, July 25th. So yes, I'm going to be 45 and I've learned a lot of lessons, but I don't want to learn them hard. And I wouldn't want to learn them with my kids. Jay, you look very young. Never would I have said. Well, thank you. Thank you. Good genetics. And I like to sleep too. I love you as well. Thank you, mods. Arrest Jenn Soto. Where'd Bree go? Bree's. All right, y'all. I gotta talk to Strategic here in a little bit and talk to a lot of people. Actually, Palmdale, Ashton Lee. Yes, I actually grew up in Palmdale, California. Where did that come from? That's interesting. I grew up in Palmdale, California for 14 years. I wonder where that name came from. Faith and repentance. Thank you, Jay. Rest well. 43 on Sunday. Well, happy birthday, Carly. All right. I love you all. Wait, you remember me? Ashton Lee? Girl, I knew you looked familiar. Yes, Palmdale, California. 14 years. I went to, Linda and all them. I went to Quartz Hill High School for like 3 weeks. And then I moved to the Bay Area. So Ashton Lee, you're on my radar to watch out for. That's funny. All right, y'all. I'm going to say goodnight. Everybody say a prayer for Maddie and that we get the best results we can. And that hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. Remember the Adelsons, and it could take a long time for justice, but justice does get served. And if I could find my outro, I would hit that outro.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?